I was born in the Visayan region. See, my country has three different regions: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And I was born in the Visayan region. And after 2 years, we moved to Mindanao. Mindanao at the time was very, like, still a wilderness, and the government had opened it like a homestead. People will go there and then clear out the forest, and then you can be there. And I grew up in Mindanao. I was lucky because I was an athlete, and the school had offered me an athletic scholarship. So I was free. I was playing, and I love playing. I love playing ball games. I was good at it. And then, so after high school, I went to school for nothing. And then I went to college, to the university, and they offered me again another scholarship. And they called us the varsity. We are the players of the university, and I love it. So we kept going around and around. But then my family has to work hard in the farm with not a big produce, but just enough to eat. But then it's just enough to eat. With my brothers and sisters, they got married early because, well, what will they do in the farm? They don't want to go to school, so they got married. So they became farmer. When they become farmers, so they become farmers all the time, and their children become farmers and farmers all the time. But then I went to school, so I became like, I am a professional. I have finished a degree. So I was separated from them. I was in the city while they were in the farm. But it's not because I was already in the profession. I also have I already had a good life, a little bit better than them, but it's not really much because in the Philippines they don't give us a big salary. We don't have like wealth, but the wealth in our heart is the biggest. Love surrounds us all the time. Whatever we do, there is always love there. Whenever we can have disaster, which we did not have that big disaster, there is always love there. It's not only in the family, like our father and mother and our brothers and sisters, but also in our extended family, our aunties, our uncles, and distant relatives. See, we always acknowledge our relations in the far distance. So that's why we have big family, because we knew them from the aunties, from the cousins, and the cousins of the cousins. So we have a big family. Whatever problem or circumstance we were in, we survive because of that love. Because there is a security when you are loved.
What did you study then when you went to
I
university?
studied to become a teacher. I was a high school teacher. And then when I finished my degree, a Bachelor of Science in Education, the university that where I finished, they took me in. So I was teaching there. And since I love schooling, I never stopped going to school. Like night school, I had to enroll some subjects to be at night. After I became a teacher, I was a teacher during the day, and during the night I was a student. And then we also have Saturday classes. That's where I obtained my master's degree, because I never stopped going to school. I love going to school. I stopped going to school when I came to Australia, and I miss it. I really miss it because I think I was an education hungry person. I love school. When I go to school, even now, if I go to school, to any school, as if I feel at home because I know where that is. I got married after I graduated in my university, and I have 2 children, a boy and a girl, Michael and Jennifer. Unfortunately, my first husband had met an accident, and it was just like a dream that happened as quick as that. And that really crumpled my world. My boy was only 22 months old, And then the girl was only 7 months old when their father died. I was already teaching. So life has to go on. So I survived. So I keep on living with my two children. It was a hard life, very, very hard life to be by yourself. And in my country, we don't have any allowances. We don't have children allowances. We don't have anything at all. You have to earn your single cents. So from my little salary, we survived. I was a good budgeter, or probably I can be a good accountant that time. But that situation really was very hard for me. And I lost my faith during the time. I lost my faith. I declared that there was no God. I feel so ashamed now, you know. I feel so ashamed. I was so bitter. I was so bitter that everybody was my enemy. I have no friends because I lost my friends. Because once they will tell me, oh, what a pity. And I don't like that word. I don't like that word. That's why that really made me stronger from that situation, because you have to learn how to use a word if you will be facing a person who is already pitiful. You don't need to pity them. You have to help them. You have to assist them. You have to take care of them. But not many people are taking care of you. They're good. That's what the saying is, saying, if you are happy, the world will laugh with you. But when you cry alone. When I was in the trade school, I became the guidance counselor of the school because I have finished my master's degree in psychology. And that was so beautiful. And the children have more respect, even if they are older than you, because not everybody was young. My students were not young. It's not like here when you have to go by your age. You'll be promoted in a year because your age is in that level of year. But over there, you just have whatever age you are. You can be like a grandfather or a grandmother already. But if you wanted to enroll us in the high school, you will still be accepted as a student. And they respect you, and they follow what you are saying, and as if you are a person. And I love to be a teacher. I was a widow already when I was 26, very, very young. Well, you can just imagine when you are 26. Well, I'm not a bad looking as well. That's why so many men as well will want me. But thank God I resisted it. I resisted it because my theory was, why do I have to get married to a person that I will feed? Why will I get married to a person that will still make me as how I am in poverty? So I would rather stay as how I am. As how I am. Now that was good when I was already in the government because my salary went up and it was big and I was comfortable, very, very comfortable. And then that's the time when I thought, well, I will never have an ambition of getting married again. There are things that you don't choose, but the things had chosen you. See, this is what happened. A friend of mine who was here already brought somebody for a holiday in the Philippines, and we met. We met and introduced this person to me. So I did not know what was going on, but there was no meaning at all. There was no meaning at all. And because I was enjoying my life, so there was no record of anything at all. But when this man came home to Australia, he wrote me a letter of friendship. So we've been writing letters for 2.5 years. And I thought, oh, well, this is a good one because this man is good in history. And it was interesting. So letters will come in every month with all his history. What is he doing here, fishing or something? And I will tell him also what are my activities. And then after 2 years, he went back to the Philippines. And when he went back to the Philippines, he offered me, oh, wanting me to come to Australia. I said, why will I come to Australia? And he offered me marriage. And while we are writing, sometimes there's something there that started, maybe if I will. I have no intention of getting married because I enjoyed my life already. I have a lot of activities and I enjoyed doing those activities. And one day I thought, why not? Why not? And then my brothers and sisters were saying to me, you're probably a mad person going to a country by yourself, just by you and your children. But then again, because I grew up in an atmosphere of security, that wherever I go, I will have friends, that wherever I go, and I have my faith as well, wherever I go, there is always Christ there. So I thought, why not? See, when you are older, you don't think of like fairy love, whatever anymore. I think I did not use I use my heart, I think, but I use my head too. As how it is. My head is on top of my heart. That's what I thought. I have to use my head before my heart. And at the same time, when that will mix together, your head and your heart will come together. And that is why. When he offered me marriage, so I said, okay. Now I have 2 children. My children will be included in the marriage as well. Because without my children, I could not be with you. And he said, okay, all right. So we got married. When I came to Australia, it was a shock. It was a shock from my husband now. He was living in Rye. I was living in the city. You can just imagine from the city and to Rye, it's just a big contrast, both extreme. And from the airport to Rye, I thought, my goodness, where is this man taking me? And when I arrived in Rye, it was full of bushes because the peninsula is full of tea trees. And I was so frightened. I thought, goodness. And I asked him, is there any rebels here? Because that's how our term in the Philippines, rebels. Are there rebels around? I said, oh no. But when he came, the next week, I think he went to work right away because he was a builder. When he went to work, and the house was big, and I was so frightened by myself because I never just live alone in the Philippines. I have my children, I have everybody, help and everybody, and now I'm just alone by myself because the children were not with me yet because they have to finish their school term. They have to finish that school term, and I have to stay in one room because I was so frightened because there was nobody around. Even our neighbors, I could not even see them. I thought, what kind of place is this? I thought Australia has plenty of people. Why are they not here? And sometimes they write a lot of houses, but a lot of holiday houses. And I could not see anyone. And I thought, goodness me, this is a lonely place at all. Very, very lonely. From the time on, I met so many friends that my neighbors were surprised. How did you meet your friends? I said, I don't know. It's just word by mouth, a friend of a friend, a friend of a friend, a friend of a friend. And my place was like a this center. Every week we have a barbecue in my place. They will always ask me, Grace, let's have something going in your house, because my husband made a barbecue place at the back of our house, and we have a big yard at the back. So they wanted to come to my place. So they just bring anything they wanted to, and then we will cook, and then we have to eat, and we have to laugh and laugh and laugh. And I tell you what, laughter makes you really feeling good, and probably laughter makes you feel young all the time. And these people, these girls who are coming to my house, they're also Filipinos, and then mostly they are into problems, and they like to tell me their problems, and I love that time, because I used being a guidance counselor, I used that ability to help them, and then the words will go from one person to one person, and as if I was just their mother, asking me what to do and what to do. And then later on, I have realized that some men are not really kind. Some men are just users. Marriage problem is the biggest problem with these new girls, because it's really different. In our culture, once you are married, a husband has to take care of a wife. And since they are new in this country, the husband has to be careful of taking care of her. Like, language is number one, so they could not understand each other. But then the husband will be angry because the message was not being understood. And that little thing will become a big problem, because the wife has that feeling already that she is not loved, or she is not respected how she is. So that starts from that, and then that becomes a big problem. And then there are times when it's really a really bigger problem, when the husband will always say, I will send you home. That's not a good way to speak to your wife. Some women are still married, and some women are not anymore. But they don't have an easy life at that very early stage of their coming to Australia as well. But the only thing I have to teach them, to tell them is to stand up. Stand up and speak up. Everything has its time. So I thought it's time also to move. So we moved to Frankston. We bought a house in Skye. All the properties in Rye that was built by my husband, and it was all beautiful places. But when you are ready to move, you don't think of those anymore. My foresight was just move, just buy somewhere. And we bought the place near my son. So I thought, oh, this is good. The hospital is nearby and the shops are closer. I thought this is good. And then with my business, I thought, well, I can see more people without driving in a distance. And I love it. When we bought that house, it was beautiful. My next door neighbor will just say right away, hi, you are our new neighbor. And the neighbor at the other side will always say, hi, you are our new neighbor. I thought, gosh, this is good. There are good things in Frankston. People are friendly. I thought, oh, okay. Now, so we became friends. And I feel so comfortable. Wherever I go, wherever I went, I wanted to go home just to see my neighbors, because neighbors are a part of our lives, I think, because they're even more important than our brothers who are too far away, because they live nearby. We can just ask them for something and here they are. And they're so beautiful. They will even offer to take my rubbish out, or my greens before to the tip. I thought, wow, this is so beautiful, and I love them all. I was always in leadership, even if I don't like doing it, but well, it's probably my gift. It's my gift that I know how to do it. And then this time, they wanted me to they wanted me to start a seniors club. We have a good start, and we have a Filipino seniors. And my intention was to make the group new that we can do something else aside from what we were always doing, like just going shopping or barbecuing or talking about the problems. So this time we have to show the community that Filipinos can do things as well, like involving the community or showing our culture or talking about what more we can do for the community, as being a gratefulness being in Australia. So that's why it was formed. And our group is called the Frankston Filipino Seniors Support Group. We are the only Filipino seniors group in Frankston Council and in Frankston area. And we are still doing it. And I could not find anybody to replace me, because they said, you are there to lead us. And they said, as long as you can talk, you will be still our president.
How do you spend your time now?
I spend my time a lot of time still. A lot of my seniors group is really demanding. I just have to have my time out. We have a lot of activities in my seniors. At next week, we are going to the city to have a walkabout. Just walk about, see how the city is. I told them to have okay, we will be going, people from the province, people from the bush will be going to the city and find out what the city is all about, and we will have fun there. And we're planning to have our Christmas break in Rosebud, in one of our members' place. We will have barbecue there, and that's where we have our meeting as well. And when we have our meeting, we always have fun. We know how to be happy. We know how to entertain ourselves, and we know how to make an event that make us happy and make our guests happy as well. But the good thing is knowing what to do for each other, helping each other, is, I can say that is also my passion, to help other people.